Hello, everyone. How are you today? Today, I have with me Anna Rodgers. For those who already saw the previous video, she was talking about how the toxin affect her life since her childhood. And today, she will explain what she did about it, if she get rid of most of it or not. So, hello, Anna. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me again, Beverley. I appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I would like, before you start, I just want to tell the audience, because, I have, my channel is about spiritual awakening and also
Amazing.
health, natural healing. So I just want to make the relation between actually the detox and spiritual awakening, because if we don't detox our bodies, we cannot be able to see the way we should see. Once we do the detox, actually our body is pure and can be a receiver and also a vessel. So we can receive a message, or we can, our psychic gift actually is more open to what we receive. So that's why it's really important also to detoxify everything. So yes, go ahead. What did you
I
do
love
next?
Sorry.
Sorry?
So with what you were saying about the spiritual aspect of it, it's a really good point to bring up, because I'm sure you're aware of the pineal gland in the brain and how important that is for your intuition. So the government's added fluoride to most of the water supplies in the world decades ago. And obviously fluoride's in toothpaste, in the Colgate type brands, it's a very high amount. And fluoride also in the dentist industry, they will put fluoride liquid on people's teeth, and they say that it makes it hard, and perhaps it does for a short while, but if you continue to use it, it actually breaks down the enamel of the teeth, and it can give people something called fluorosis, which looks like all these sort of discolored parts on the teeth. I know in some of the elderly people who've been using fluoride, drinking the fluoride water for years, their teeth can look really, really awful after a while. But what people have found is that fluoride decalcifies the pineal gland. Yeah. So it basically blocks people from connecting to their intuition. And when I did some research about it, there was a story that I came across where they added added fluoride to the water supply in some of the concentration camps in the Nazi war. And it was a way of them testing what this did to people and whether or not it was, something they could do to cut off someone's intuition from their spiritual gifts that we are all born with. So I've always thought that was interesting. And yes, when people start to detox their bodies, and when you study where the toxins end up, all different organs, bones, kidneys, liver, gallbladder, in your stomach, obviously in the brain, even in your heart. Toxins in the heart are linked to heart attacks. Surprise, surprise. So it's basically weighing all of us down, all of the excess chemicals that we come into contact with. And the numbers are absolutely astonishing. Depending on what you read, some people will say we come into contact with thousands of chemicals a day. Some will say hundreds of thousands of chemicals. So if you're around, say, an air freshener, or if you're using a perfume from a department store, that one product can have over 200 toxic chemicals in there. And some people will say, well, it's only a tiny bit. But this is where, when you look at the big picture and how much other stuff is around us, that it adds up. It's like I always see the human body like a bottle. If you are pouring in a little bit of water into your bottle, eventually that's going to get full.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's happening with humanity, is we're just facing an unprecedented amount of chemicals every day. It's really shocking when you start to do the research. And just recently, it's in all of the, well, not all of the newspapers, but worldwide, a study came out about these chemicals called PFAS.
Okay.
And PFAS is found in things like Teflon, so the non-stick cookware that's everywhere, you know, everyone's using it. That is a forever chemical, which means it doesn't break down in the environment. And it also has a lot of trouble breaking down in humans. And the company that developed that stuff called DuPont, and they've had a very bad history with things that they have invented. And at the time, it was seen as a incredible invention. You know, I think it was in everything back then was all about new science, and they really promoted, the slogan was better living through chemistry. So that was all in the newspapers back then, was to get people excited about how wonderful science is. And then the chemical industry started to explode because they realized this chemical could then make this type of plastic, and it would they would go and produce so many things that we, the public, would then buy. It's all, of course, about making money.
Yeah.
But no one's ever said to them, before they are allowed to use that chemical, they must do 10 years of studies on people and all of that. They never do it. So we've had, you know, almost 100 years of chemicals being produced, and they're not stopping. They're producing more and more chemicals. And when you look at the disease rates for almost every type of disease,
it's increasing.
It's all going up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yet if you're someone that worries about this subject, the doctors don't take it seriously. They don't get taught that really one of the first things we should do, if someone was sick, a good doctor would say, let's give you a heavy metals test. Let's test your blood. Let's test your hair and see what is in there. Because if you have too many of these things, it's going to damage your kidneys, or it's going to damage your liver, or it's going to damage all of you. So therefore, we need to see what we're looking at. And I suffered from a lot of toxicity as a child, and it was brutal what it did to my mental state. You know, I was 12 years old, and I was suicidal, and that's just not normal. And then I had what I now know was severe hormonal issues. So when I started to get my period, before my period happened, like each month, I would go really crazy. It would be a very extreme PMS.
Wow.
Lots of pain, awful. And it was hormonal damage from the toxins that I was around. I never ate healthy food. It was always processed food. We always used pharmaceutical medicine in my family because my dad was a doctor.
Yeah.
So nothing I was doing, and of course using toxic products, nothing I was doing was actually helping me get well. So the older I got, and because all I knew was pharmaceutical medicine, that's where I went. And I just got worse and worse and worse. And I remembered being probably about 16 and saying to my dad at dinner time something about, where's all this cancer coming from? You know, maybe it's from all the bad food and the toxins. And he was like, just didn't want to pay attention. And not much has changed unless a doctor studies functional medicine.
Yeah.
They study all about toxins causing disease. If a doctor doesn't actually choose that route to go down with the medical industry, they will hardly learn about toxicity. All that they get taught is, just say you were a farmer and you were working with pesticides and I don't know, a container spilt on you, then they would learn about that. So a huge dose, and then they'd be told, yes, you need to go and take them to the hospital, give them, you know, IV chelation therapy and all of that. They don't tell them about the accumulation of chemicals every minute, breathing in stuff. I live in Costa Rica. You can probably see the jungle. People think it's probably got one of the best air qualities in the world. Certainly it's healthier to be here than it would be, say, in the middle of Bangkok in Thailand. But there's still chemicals in the air here. They're everywhere. And this is the problem with the PFAS chemicals. Is a study came out yesterday, and they are finding these forever chemicals in turtles, in whales, in deer, I think even in plankton in the oceans. It is everywhere. And it's linked to kidney cancers, liver issues, all types of cancers. And that's just one chemical that we are all around every day.
That's
no
scary.
One is a
That's scary.
That's what I mean. I love speaking about this subject because it is so important that people know what's going on, because the cancer rates are like, they say it's 1 in 3. I reckon it's more like 1 in 2. You know, that people will come in, and the older we get, the more likely someone gets a disease, cancer. I mean, all this autoimmune stuff, it wasn't really around 50 years ago.
No.
Very rare.
I agree with you, because I will say, since I've been in Africa, I saw the breast cancer increasing. Like, I was like, I asked myself, what is in the air for people to keep getting sick? And it's getting, you know, the younger one, you know, the younger women are getting
it's so scary. And if you went and looked at the food supply that was being grown over there, without a doubt, they will be spraying some nasty things on the food there. And
Definitely.
A friend of mine lives in Uganda. He was sharing some information about the cancer rates going up and up as well. And it's, you know, if the earth was an ambulance, that noise would be on. The sirens would be on right now. Constantly. So, and what is really frightening is, what does this mean for children growing up in our world today, when, with what you just said before, younger and younger people are getting cancer? So therefore, what will it be like in 5 years for these children being born today? The statistics for them developing something will be more then than it is now. And even now, it's really scary. So I try.
But it won't happen. It won't happen, because we are here to actually get the information out.
Yeah, and it, like, we have a job to do. Exactly. Those of us who are awake and know what's going on, I feel like we have a duty to share with others about this subject. The media tried to make detoxing sound like a fashionable thing to do. You know, Vogue magazine will talk about doing green juice diets and all that kind of stuff. But it's way more than that.
Yeah, it's way more serious. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So with my health issues, it was awful. But then I found something that was absolutely phenomenal for me. And I've been working with it for the last 10 years. And it's called liquid zeolite. And zeolite is an ancient mineral that, when you look at it underneath the microscope, it looks like a cage, like a honeycomb kind of cage. And scientists have discovered that it has magnetic properties. So the zeolite cage has a negative charge, and many toxins such as lead, mercury, aluminum, some of the plastics, other environmental toxins, they have a positive charge. So you can tell what's going to happen is the zeolite, when it comes into contact with the positively charged toxins, it's going to trap it and then take it out of your body. And there's, I think, at least 300 medical studies that show that zeolite can do that. So for me, when I had the recent mercury exposure, someone on Facebook mentioned to me about mercury poisoning. I looked into it, and then she said she'd had that similar experience, but with her fillings. And she actually tried some liquid zeolite, and I'd never even heard of it. So she was a lovely lady, so I trusted her. I went and had a look, and then I tried it. And within 2 weeks of using it, I just had to add it to my water. It wasn't anything scary to do.
Okay.
But I was blown away by that, because my mental issues with the, you know, I couldn't even remember stuff. And this was before I was 30, because of having the shot that I had. It just caused my brain to deteriorate very fast, and also my body did as well, where I was very tired, and I felt like I was 80, like a really old person on the inside. But after taking the zeolite, and it was all I took was just that, and drank plenty of water, I did get some detox symptoms. I had headaches. I did feel not quite right for the first week, and I just kept drinking water because I was in contact with someone who sold the product, and they told me that for very toxic people, what I felt was normal. Most people, they don't feel this, they just feel better. But for people like me, it was a little bit intense. But I'm glad I did it, because if I hadn't have done it, I don't even know if I'd be alive today, because the body can't cope with all of these toxins. You have to take them out.
It was too much.
Yes. Yeah. So grateful that I came across this stuff, and then I've been working with it for 10 years now. And what we've seen in people is almost miraculous, you know, because, well, for some parents, they'll say it's a miracle. Loads of children are being born with industrial chemicals in their bodies, in their umbilical cords. It means the mother's placenta is not protecting them any longer, because their body burden is too much. Wow. And it, in some of these children, it'll look like they have autism, speech delay, where they can't speak properly. Yeah. And we've had thousands of mums try this zeolite spray, and within a few days their kids are speaking more, you know. And some of the mums have taken before and after videos, and it's just absolutely mind-blowing. So zeolite is a really safe and effective detox agent. And yeah, we've given it to loads of kids. I personally took it when I was pregnant. I took it when I was breastfeeding. My kids are very, very healthy. I give it to them every day.
It's natural, right?
Yeah,
it's natural
exactly.
Product,
yeah. It's very old. It's like millions of years old. It's compacted rock, and in the ground, it does attract other toxins to it because it's so magnetic. So a lot of zeolite products on the market are really not good quality, because they're just powders or rocks that have been ground down into powders, but they haven't cleaned that powder, and you need to clean it before you have it, and you need a company that has special equipment to do that. And there's not many companies that do that, and they say it's clean, but they don't have the proof. So I'm really proud to be working with a company called Touchstone Essentials that always clean their product, and then they share the results on the website with people, so they can see that it's been tested by a third party, and then they know that this one that they're taking is very clean.
That's great. And so you saw the change, and is it something that you need to take it like I would say like kind of for the rest of your life, or in certain time you need to stop?
I do take it every day because I know what I know. You know, if someone said I can only afford to do it for a month or two, is that going to be worthwhile? Yeah, it will definitely take a lot of toxins out, but it's best to stay on it for as long as possible, because every second you breathe in stuff that's just horrible. And even even on organic food, there's still chemicals on there, like heavy metals, stuff in the air that's everywhere. Even in Antarctica, there's terrible toxins that they've found. Same with these forever chemicals, they're everywhere. So nothing is pure. I think that's my whole point of what I've learned.
Yeah.
Nothing is pure. Even when you eat clean, it's still
good.
really not that clean. It's better than non-organic food, definitely. But is it going to stop you from having toxicity, disease? Maybe not. I mean, this is the thing. I've met a few people that were really spiritually awake, did yoga, drank good water, had organic food. Sadly, some of them got cancer and they're no longer here.
Yeah, that's true.
But the one thing they weren't doing was taking a daily detox supplement, you know, and I just think it makes sense. Take something that acts like a magnet that will travel through your body and grab onto these toxins, and then it will take it out of your body. That to me makes sense. That's what we have to do.
Okay, I understand. So it's not only actually removing what you had, but it's constantly doing it every day when you take in every day, actually. Okay.
Yeah. And like, you know, for example, if I go into town, it's where we've got a cafe down in town. It's right on the road and there's trucks going past all the time. And I'll take my spray with me and just be like, because I know that whilst I'm there, I'll be breathing in a lot more toxins than I would be at home. And then, you know, hopefully this is going to make sense. Imagine this is an average day for someone. They wake up, they've been sleeping on a toxic mattress where at night they get a bit sweaty. The mattress is off-gassing chemicals into them. Perhaps the sheets that they're sleeping on is synthetic. Found out that clothes and probably sheets as well get sprayed with like fungicides when they get made to get moldy before they get to people. So you're sleeping on a bed like that. You get up, you walk on the floor. Perhaps you've got varnish on the floorboards, on the wood, got barefoot, you're walking on that. That's toxic. Perhaps you go to your bathroom, clean your teeth, your toothpaste got fluoride on it. Then you use deodorant. Deodorants have got loads of chemicals in them. The aluminum can cause breast cancer. Then you put clothes on. The clothes are synthetic. They've got many toxins on them, including lead. The dyes are toxic. Put shoes on, again, they could be synthetic, plastic. That's going into your feet. And then you go and have breakfast. You cook on the Teflon. You're eating non-organic food. It's got chemicals in it, pesticides. You know, one apple has 56 chemicals on it when they grow it. Drinking out of a plastic cup.
Yeah.
You know, that's even before you've left the house.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You use air in your house. If you're breathing that in, or you're cleaning up, you're spraying stuff on the table, that's toxic. You know, hundreds of chemicals in that. Then you might put your makeup on. That's got hundreds of chemicals. Some of them are terrible. Your skin is the largest organ. So, yeah. And then it's overwhelming, isn't it? Like when you really know.
Yeah, it is. And we cannot live without some of the product, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing, as a society, we're never going to not have chemicals in the environment. There's no way that's possible now for them to stop being made. The only thing we can do is, yes, be careful with what you buy, be careful what you eat, be careful with your water quality. But it's so important to take things that help your liver to work better and will grab these toxins. And I'm not saying that these products will get rid of all of the chemicals. I think that's impossible. But if they're going to be taking the majority out of your body so that you've got a minimum amount, then that's going to benefit your health. I personally think that taking the zeolite is more important than, say, vitamins and minerals. Yes, we need them, but like what I mentioned before, I've known people to eat, perfectly healthy food, but still get sick and they're no longer with us. You know, and I'm not saying it took the zeolite, would it have saved them? Maybe there are other factors why they got cancer. I know there's a massive emotional trauma element to cancer, but detoxing has to be part of a person's protocol. You know, every day you need to know that something working with you and taking out this stuff. And the good thing about this product is you can use it with animals as well, because pets are starting to develop. Well, it's been going on for a long time, but the cancer rates in cats and dogs also increase massively.
I agree. That definitely, I agree. Wow, this is a good information, and I'm sure the audience will like it because we need to know, definitely. So yes,
and nothing saying has come from me. I've not made any of this up. I've read it many times in many different studies, in many different books. There are many scientists who are very frightened about what's going on.
Yes, it's not just you saying that. There is more and more people who are talking about it. So yeah, people need to make their own research.
And I must say, it's really good to see on social media how many mums, it's usually the mums that are talking about it. It's amazing. Like, so many people, some of the hashtags that people use under TikTok reels or Instagram reels have got millions and millions and millions of people using that tag. And that makes me happy knowing people are really waking up to this, because 10, 15 years ago, people that were interested in health and knowing about toxins were kind of called hippies.
Yeah.
You know, crunchy hippies. And now it's like, we've definitely got a long way to go. There's a lot of people who don't give it a thought. Don't seem to care, probably just trying to survive their life anyway. But more and more people understand what's going on. And what's happened in America in the last couple of weeks with the chemical spills is horrific. Yeah, absolutely horrific. If you look on a map and see where they've all happened, all of them combined will be affecting all of the water supplies in America. I would not want to be in America at the moment.
Yeah, they have to be careful what they drink,
because they are, it's already toxic.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Yep. It's heartbreaking. I was listening to something the other day about what's happened there. And because the chemicals exploded, and I think they did it on purpose, the train derailed, but then I don't know who said they should do this, but they made the cars explode. Wow. And it was 5 chemicals that they were using. And the chemicals were used to make plastics, bags, like stuff that, you know, this is so toxic. But the combination of all those chemicals being set on fire is apparently they've created something called a dioxin. Wow. And it's one of the most toxic things known to man. And the scientist that I was listening to said something about Agent Orange, that Agent Orange is also a dioxin, and that somewhere in the world, I don't think it was Vietnam, it was somewhere else, where a huge amount of this dioxin went off into the environment. The mothers in that area, no one's ever had children. No one's been able to have babies.
Wow.
So we are looking at something really frightening.
Yeah, but we need that zeolites, definitely. Definitely. Wow.
Yep. Yes, I said people need to, and no matter where you live, even in Antarctica, the Eskimo mothers, their breast milk is toxic. They've got these forever chemicals in their bodies, and they're passing it down
to their children.
So no worries. Nowhere has pure water anymore, and it's such a tragedy what's happened. But thank you for letting me speak about it. It's something I'm really passionate about, and I just feel we have to share this information with people.
Yeah, I agree with you. And yeah, definitely. And I appreciate you accept to join to talk about it. Is there anything that you would like to add before we leave? That you want to say?
Not really, just for people to take this seriously, you know, and do your own research. If some things I've said sound a little crazy, just research and come to your own conclusions with if what I'm saying is the truth or not. And I kind of look at how most people leave this earth these days with these cancers. It's not nice. It's not a nice way to go. And I think you have to take control of your own health, because big pharma want to control your health, but they're doing that by making it worse in the long run and making themselves so much money, and they're never going to really heal you.
No.
You know, the best thing I ever did was walked away from the pharmaceutical industry. Do I ever want to use their medications again? Yeah, if I have an accident, of course. Anesthetics can be amazing. Pain relief can be amazing. Those things, we're very lucky that that's available. But everyday use of drugs, do I miss that? Absolutely not. And what was my health like when I did use that stuff? Awful. So yeah, I think the best thing is to have your own knowledge and to have control over your own health is what we need to do.
Definitely, I agree. Thank you very much, Anna, and thank you everyone for watching. And please share this information with people that you know, because this is really important. People need to be aware of really what is inside of their body, what they're eating, and what they're using as a product for, you know, to clean the house or for the body. So thank you, Anna.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And thank you for the, wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye, everyone.